Yes, you lovely people, if you're not already, make sure you give us a follow over on Spotify.
I haven't died yet, and I always manage to get to the end of the tour. Sometimes I end up in intensive care, sometimes I end up in rehab, but most of the time I just go home.
So you played at Nebworth, okay? How many people were at Nebworth?
375,000. Nobody that achieves that level of fame comes out of it the other side unscathed and mentally well. I played with Maradona at Soccer Aid. You can't buy the experience that I have on a Soccer Aid day. One of the most mind-bending moments is like being next to Ben Shepherd and like Rudolph's here, Maradona's here, and he's got the ball, and I'm like, Sheps, Maradona. 3 or 4 weeks before Soccer Aid, I used to get ill with the stress of thinking, how am I going to be around that many people? It's football therapy for me, this, lads. I'm just knobhead from Stoke, fannying about. How the f*** has this happened?
Wow. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fozcast. Now, we have got a very special episode for you today. We have had some big names on here before, haven't we, Tom?
We've had some good guests, yeah.
We've had some big guests, some good guests. It's been a nice little roller coaster so far. We've had David Seaman, legend, Ian Wright, MBE. We're talking proper sporting icons here, right? We've never had a musician on before. Not only is he just a musician, though, he's a bit of a legend in Britpop, in the whole world. I ain't even going to narrow it down to Britpop. He is an absolute musical icon.
This is all good and proper, lads. But I've got to give a shout out to Craig Dawson. Mate, what are you doing? Pull your finger out.
There we go.
18 Brits, just beaten Elvis for the most #1 albums. Played Nebworth 3 nights. I'm here. Come on, you big time swat.
I was saying, come on, Dawes. We got big Robbie Williams in the house, right? He's shouting you out. If you don't come on, you're a dickhead.
Can I ask the first question?
Yeah.
So the flip-flops and socks.
Yep.
That was definitely and still is a footballer's thing. Now it's sort of gone into the community as a whole. But do you think that footballers started that look? Ooh. Or was it rappers, or was it, I don't know, was it...
Yeah, rappers did it a bit. No, rappers did it a bit as well, to be fair. Rappers did it. It's when you say flip-flops, it's like, it's not the ones that go in between your big toe.
No.
It's like the sliders, isn't it, they call them, I think.
Because I remember doing Soccer Aid, and Jamie Redknapp came in with them on. With the socks
yeah.
and the flip flops on, and I was just like, I'm not. And then you look up and it's just like this beautiful man. And you're like
attached to him.
I'm totally having that.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I'm totally. You just rocking that.
Yeah. Can I just interrupt 1 second? Have we actually introduced our guest?
I think I said
name.
I said Robbie. And then he jumped in with the Craig Dawson shout. We didn't even prompt him for the Craig Dawson shout. No. We just did it.
No, it was weighing heavy on my mind as I was coming up in the car. I was like, Craig Dawson should be doing this, and I don't know why he isn't.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Robbie, I want to tell the story about how we actually first sort of got into contact with each other, right? So I'll start from the very beginning, right? So it was about, 3 or 4 months ago?
Yeah.
It was at the time of Soccer Aid, actually. Soccer Aid, obviously, we'll talk about Soccer Aid in a bit. And I get a text from the big, lovely man, which is David Seaman, right? And he's like, Fozzie, you will not get... And I try and do his voice.
Deeper.
Yeah. Oh, Fozzie, I don't know why I do. Fozzie, I'm sat next to somebody who was buzzing off your podcast. Am I all right to pass your number on? And I was like, okay, I know he's at Soccer Aid. Who is it? I'm like genuinely intrigued. So I text back, yeah, mate, sweet as a nut. Like, who is it? Like, and then
sorry, it wasn't Chunks. But go on.
I wanted Usain Bolt to be perfectly honest with you. But, so then I was
I can do that joke, but go on.
Oh god. So anyway, so I'm put like, so at this point I'm thinking, yeah, all right, go on then. So he's got me on a freaking a fishing rod at this minute. He's like reeling me, and he's like, yeah, you ready? So anyway, he's like, it's Robbie Williams. I'm like, oh mate, I love Robbie Williams. What a guy.
Thank you.
So that's where it came from. So he's passed the number on. We had a few little texts and stuff like that. You've been touring all over the frigging world. So anyway, we knew that you're back in the country, all right? We're following you on social media, all this kind of stuff. We know that you're touring next week. I send you a little text message off, and I'm saying, right, mate, if you get any chance in the next week or two, do you fancy coming on? Not only did he text back, it's half time in the England game. England-Germany, was it, I think?
Yes.
I think it was the England-Germany.
It was, yeah.
Half time, I look at my phone, FaceTime, Robbie Williams. Oh my God. So I'm sitting there. So at this moment in time, I still think sometimes you don't realise how much of an absolute frigging legend you are. So when I'm seeing this, right, come up on my phone, I see Robbie Williams FaceTime and I'm going to the kid, oh my God, to the wife. The wife's from Stoke and I'm going, oh, it's Robbie Williams. Ridiculous, right? So anyway, yes, mate, you're right. And you're just there chilling on your bed. Fozzie, how are you, mate? Oh, mate, it was so good, wasn't it? It was so nice.
Yeah. But look, the smoke blowing. No. From me to your enthusiasm and your kindness shines through. And it's just like I just wanted to meet you, and be part of this. I love YouTube.
Yeah,
I love YouTube. I love what's happening with YouTube. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Let me ask you another question.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go on.
it's just come up. Is there anybody nicer on the planet than David Seaman?
Honestly, I don't think there is, We have this conversation all the time. Tubes is up there.
Tubes.
David Seaman,
Tubes.
for sure.
Let me tell my little David Seaman one. The first encounter I had with David Seaman was absolutely brilliant. So we were just arranging him to come in. You gave me Dave Seaman's number and I said, I'll give him a call just day before, just to run through where we are, everything else. So I didn't have a chance to ring him. He rang me. So unknown number. I missed it. Voicemail. So I pick up the voicemail and it's Valentine's Day. So, hello, Tom. This is David Seaman. Give me a call back so we can plan the podcast. But you'll have to be quick because after 3:00 I'll be romancing. And I was like, what a brilliant guy. I rang him back and I said, Hi, David. It's Tom. I know who you are, Tom. I watched the podcast. I was like, brilliant.
Wow,
what a brilliant guy.
I'd send him to the Olympics for kindness.
Yeah.
You could have Mother Teresa there and he'd still get a gold.
I think he'd be there. Listen, I've got a David Seaman story as well.
Go.
So when we had him on the podcast again, like he's my, as growing up as a goalkeeper, loving football, David Seaman's one of my idols, right? We had him on the podcast. He was, what a guy. In the podcast, I kept asking him, right, when you were about to retire, Dave, like, how did you know? When did you know? Do you know what I mean? He told me the story of he was playing for Man City and he just knew. He said he was like halfway, he just knew. So then I announced my retirement a couple of weeks ago, right? It's gone out onto all the social media platforms. David Seaman rings me the day that I retire, right? David Seaman is ringing me. And the first thing he says to me, he goes, how did you know? And I'm like,
Did he?
Yeah, David, I'm in the car and he rung me and he went, how did you know? And I thought, oh, Dave, you are such a good guy.
Yeah, he's the best. Another question, really sorry that I'm doing. I'm
doing
doing
the
the Robbie
podcast.
Williams podcast.
The Robcast.
Okay, so is there a little bit of you that pines to maybe be looking after Rambo at Arsenal? Did you think possibly you might get that gig?
A little bit, actually.
Yeah, I bet. I did.
Yeah.
I did. Like the end of the season, I watched you guys, and it was just you were saying your friend was talking about you be surprised what job you're going to be offered, and I thought he's going to get the Arsenal gig.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It was a good fit. Like on paper, it's a good fit, isn't it?
But has that just gone now? So there's like Rambo's doing really well, and Arsenal are having the flying. They're having the best time. Do you watch them on the TV thinking, I wish I was there?
No, I don't, honestly. I don't watch
You're happy to be here?
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, right? Like I said, when I announced my retirement, it was off the back of the Newcastle thing. So I had that really good offer from Newcastle. Like, it was so tempting as well, honestly. It was genuine sort of like gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching thinking about it and stuff. But I knew the next day I woke up and I was fully at ease with my decision. And that's when I know. And honestly, mate, I haven't missed it one bit.
Was it a roller coaster for you?
Little bit, because it had knock-on implications. I
Yeah.
don't think we really talked about this, but I think if Ben was going to go up to Newcastle, realistically, I'd have probably had to go with him and mirror his time up there because of the weekly commitment,
Yeah.
the podcast and so on and so forth. But no, not too much. I think we just
It was
everything we do, we're kind of in it together, you know.
My gig and my job is never in the same country, let alone the same town. And I've got 4 kids, and the oldest one just turned 10, and the youngest one just went to school for the first time today, and he's 2.5. And it's impossible to be a dad and have them go to school in one country, in one place, because I just know that they'll be turning 20, 21, 22, and they'll have never met me.
Yeah.
So the kids are being homeschooled right now, and I love it.
Yeah.
The commute is incredible. The breakfast table, that's it. Yeah. So still trying to figure it out though, because the wife is unbelievably clever. The wife speaks 4 languages, was studying to be a lawyer, finished top of her class at Harvard. And she's like, oh, no, it's so important that the kids have the high school experience. And I'm like, it's not important at all.
No.
I don't want them to have the high school experience.
If you grew up in the UK, it's not.
No.
no.
No. So I just want them to stay at home and be at home. So I understand that that would have been a heart-wrenching decision to make, to go up to Newcastle, leave the family for another couple of years. Was it a 2-year contract?
No, it was a 1 year, but it would have been, obviously, it would have been 9 months till the end of the season.
Right.
But even then, I think just like at my age, I think I've in my head mentally, I've done that already. Do you know what I mean? I've done the kind of living away from home and travelling and all that kind of stuff. Because even when I was at Watford, I was driving an hour and a half into training and an hour and a half home. And like I say, when you're 38, 39, mate, you get out of the car and you're back. It's
what do you think? What do you think the percentage? Because like you ask footballers and that you say, do you miss playing? They don't.
Nope.
But they miss the changing room and the banter and all that stuff. What do you think the percentage of footballers is that actually miss playing and really want to go back and relive those days?
Yeah, I'd say a lot get to the point where they retire. This is the worry at the minute, to be honest with you, Robbie, because I think there's a lot of players that get to the end of their career and they haven't thought about the end of their career. They haven't thought about that first day where they've got to start thinking for themselves. Nothing.
The chasm, just bottomless pit.
Exactly.
Overnight.
Yeah, stops overnight. There's nothing in motion to go and like try your hand at next kind of thing. So you can only play a certain amount of golf.
Two questions then. One question is, how many out of your first team would be making plans for that, and how many wouldn't?
I'd say a lot of them would be making plans of making sure their money's in the right place. Yeah, but not necessarily what they're going to go into next. So that a lot of them have been offered like coaching courses to go and be a coach or a manager or something like that. Not a lot do it, not a lot at all. So out of the full Watford squad of 25 players or something, maybe two.
Why don't they do it?
I think they realise that coaching is an all-consuming job. When you're a player, you can sort of get away with it a little bit more. Like there's no the pressure is on the pitch, but off the pitch, you can kind of get away with it a little bit. But when you're a coach, you have to set examples all over the place. You have to live to a higher standard than everyone else. You have to be first one in. And like coaches have it tough. They're in at 7, 8 in the morning.
And also coaches were ex-players and they weren't that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden,
they're
like
that
the
guy.
next day, they have to be that guy.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of the players, the option is for the media or coaching. And if you're not into either...
But there's only so many seats at the board for the media stuff.
Exactly.
Because everywhere's taken.
Yeah.
But this is what Fozzie's done, realistically. He's pioneering in the fact that 2 years before, we've lined it up, and now he's in a position where he's finished it, and he's gone, I've got the option for another year up at Newcastle. And you go, well, no, because I've got my own thing. And we talked about it earlier on, didn't we, with Rich Lee? Like, the reality is, Ben could come in and do 5 days a week, 9 hours a day, or come in for a couple of days, do a couple of podcasts, go and play some golf, go take the family away. The options are there.
Having your own platform is the thing, Robbie, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're getting to a point now with sports stars getting so big and their voices so loud and so important that they need their own platform now, that they can go and do what they want to do and say it how they want to say it when they want to say it.
That's the thing I love about YouTube is it's do it yourself, and
Exactly.
you don't have to deal with the gatekeepers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's so exciting. It's punk.
Yeah, true
This
that.
is punk rock.
Yeah, it is. It's the opposite to mainstream. And that's
rolling
the
around with a
beauty of it.
GoPro. I mean, this is how the videos were made.
Yeah.
The football videos, the cycling videos. It is literally rolling around with a GoPro.
Well, I wonder how many, because like when you did the introduction to me for this podcast, you did it like a professional.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people that did do your job could actually
Pick that up and do
transition so easily into being that. Bang, we were on camera. You got everything that you needed to say out with enthusiasm, and it was enthralling. I wonder how many people have got that in their locker.
Do you know what I think it is, though? I think you need to have a genuine sort of like passion for it. So I've got a genuine passion for podcasts, for YouTube, for doing it on my own terms, on my own platform. But I wouldn't want to do it on Sky Sports or BT or all them other ones. I wouldn't want to do that because we get to do it how we want to do it.
This is the future,
Yeah.
They don't know, but they're already dead.
Yeah, it's true.
And it was like when the internet came out and everybody was downloading songs for free, and all the record companies tried suing the people that were downloading them. And that just looked bad. You can't go and sue a 12-year-old for downloading 12,000. Yeah,
MP3s.
Yeah, exactly. But then what they did was they went the back door, and then they all bought shares in Spotify and places like that. So they figured it out in the end. But TV isn't doing that. It isn't transitioning, you know, and there's still this sort of snobbery.
For sure.
And it does, because it all breaks down to finances too. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like there are people on YouTube with bigger audiences than any TV show on terrestrial TV. And I'm here for it. I find it all really exciting. And if, you know, if I didn't have an album out and didn't have these plans, if I didn't have loads of plans that doesn't revolve around doing this, I'd be doing this.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. And also, people say, what would you have done if you didn't get and take that and you wouldn't be doing what you're doing? I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
Because it's like you say, I'm interested. It's interesting and it's dead exciting.
Do you know what? We had an idea for you earlier. I'm going to steal it from Tom, but it was a world-class idea. It was a world-class idea. Right?
Poddy Williams.
So, yes, so there we go. Boom. The Robbie Williams podcast, yeah? So this is just one tranche. Tranche.
Let's go tranche.
Let's go to the accent.
One tranche. One tranche of it.
Tranche,
right,
yeah.
is
Why are you doing it in Boston accent?
That was French.
tranche.
Was it?
Yeah,
I suppose that was tranche.
Yeah. Anyway.
So just one part of it, right? So when it gets around to Soccer Aid time,
Yeah.
you can literally go and do every single member of the Soccer Aid team on both things. Do the podcast with it each day leading into it. Oh my God, you're just getting the biggest names on podcasts. You're sitting down with them at ease with everybody. You would be world class at doing this because basically you've done this podcast already.
Yeah. I'm doing your job for you, fellas.
Exactly.
The thing is that you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And I've got so many fingers in so many pies.
You're a busy man.
I'm busy. I'm building hotels.
Yeah.
I've written a TV show, dark comedy. I've got this talent show that I want to do. I've got this plan for a superstore that I won't say what it is because I don't want anybody to nick the idea. But there is the film coming out, the documentary that I'm doing, 3 drinks that I've got.
Are you allowed to explain anything about this film, by the way? Because you were trying to. So when I'm on this FaceTime, by the way, you were explaining that you've got a biopic, a biopic.
Yeah.
Is it biopic or
Biopic, yeah.
Biopic, right? He's got a biopic coming out, obviously about Robbie Williams, and he's explaining it to me, and I'm thinking, this is absolutely bonkers. This sounds incredible.
Well, I can't say the bit that's the most bonkers.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing that is confusing is people saying, "Are you in it?" And I go, "Yeah, I am," but I don't know. I don't know what it is that I've done and which bit that I'm in, and it will be more apparent when it comes out because the director of the movie is a guy called Michael Grace, who's a really good mate of mine, and he directed and helmed The Greatest Showman.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And we've got a huge budget for this film. Don't know how, but we've managed it. And there is a idea that is the crux of the film that people need to be aware of when they need to be aware of it.
Okay.
And if I let the cat out the bag too early, it'll spoil a $100 million idea.
100 million.
But that's the budget for the film.
Oh my gosh.
So, but I am in it. I just don't know which bit I'm in.
It's hard to explain. So how you've explained it to me, I'm not going to explain what it is, but even my mind was going, so how? How? How?
It breaks form and it's a massive swing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of brave people that have put a lot of money into this and gone, yeah, we like that idea. Because I say this, sorry, I can't tell you all at home what it is, but I say this idea to people and they're either like, that's not going to work. Or they're like, wow, that's amazing. But it's like 50-50. So anyway.
you haven't got a YouTube channel of your own, have you?
I have got a YouTube channel,
Music.
but I put music.
It's just for music, yeah. So give us some. You're massive into YouTube. We were talking about it, and like some of the people that you follow and stuff like that. So give us a taste of the sort of stuff that you're getting down that rabbit hole on YouTube for.
Okay, so Goldbridge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Stretford Paddock. I'm
Yeah.
going to mention them.
Yep.
Are you a United
Stretford
fan, by the way?
Paddock,
Obviously
Paddock.
Port Vale, but
I'm a Port Vale fan.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that story first?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so it's the year is 1981, 1982, and Liverpool are winning absolutely everything. And little me was just like, I'm not having that. I don't know why, but it took umbrage with the fact that the Scousers got to win everything. I'm like 8 or 9, and then there was United and the Whiteside, Norman Whiteside, Gary Bailey, Jasper Olsen, Gordon Strachan, Brian McClare, Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with Manchester United, and they were my team.
Yeah.
And then I'm also in Stoke. We got no money, and Manchester might as well be Mars.
Yeah.
Might be, you might as well. Can we go to Mars, Mum? No, we're not going to Mars. And then when I turn 14, it's 50 pence to get into Port Vale, and it's round the corner.
Yeah.
And I completely and utterly fall in love with Port Vale. So this has left me with a problem, because as a football fan, you're only supposed to have one team. And it's never completely... I've never felt completely at home with the fact that I love two teams.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm judging me for having two teams.
I don't see a problem with it.
No, well, you know what I'm on about, though, right?
I do. Oh, I definitely do.
Yeah.
Slightly different for me. We've been best mates for years, so I go and watch.
So you've got
him.
7 teams,
right? But I'm Wolves. All my
Right.
family are Wolves.
Okay,
and he plays
okay.
at West Brom for
Okay,
years.
yeah.
And people don't get it. But with you've got Port Vale at a certain place in the pyramid.
Yeah.
And United at the other end. So
Yeah.
I get it.
There's nothing wrong, I don't think, with just having a special place in your heart for a couple of teams.
It's football therapy for me, this, lads. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's no
But
wrong.
but it's a weird. I always find it really. It's like you can't be really a Man United fan if you love Port Vale. If Port Vale played Man United, I'd want Port Vale to win. Obviously, they're not going to win. But,
It's different.
blah,
If it was
blah,
Man United and Liverpool, then no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Or even like Man United and I don't know, someone that's not quite.
Here's the
even
thing.
Stoke.
Here's the thing, though, right? With football, I don't know if you're the same, but if there's somebody in your life that you really like, and they really like a football team, you see that football team through their eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 mates, Danny and Calv, big shout out, and they love Liverpool. They're my friends from Stoke, but they love Liverpool. And through them, I can't be a Man United fan if I love Liverpool too, because I've got, I used to, when I was 8 or 9, like I said before, was like, the Scousers, they can't be winning everything. But I've really got a soft spot for Liverpool now.
No wrong with it. You can I wear a different shirt every day of the week that we do a podcast.
When
or
it
whatever.
comes to football, I'm gender neutral.
Yeah, fluid.
It's different for you though. You're a
I'm
player.
fluid.
Fluid.
I'm fluid. I'm not like everyone else.
No,
Footballers though, that's acceptable because I think it's widely known that, like being a footballer, you don't have that passion.
When does that die as well? Because like all kids that play football supported football teams, one team like we did, but then how far into your contract or your professional life do you go? It doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
When was that for you, Ben? You were Spurs growing up.
I would say, yeah, big Spurs fan as a kid. My brother was a Spurs fan, just bullied me into being a Spurs fan, but that's what it was. It is what it is. But then, yeah, as soon as you get, I think once you get to the point where you're going to be playing against them, I think, because you have to go, yeah, like the job that I've got in front of me is more important than the fact that I love this team. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a job to do. You have to try and lose the emotion of it somewhere, kind of thing. But no, yeah, like so, I support Watford, I support West Brom, Tottenham. I've played for them.
Got another question I want to ask. So, I wanted to be famous when I was a kid, but back then, famous meant you were actually good at something, right? So it meant you had a talent, Now, what I thought fame was going to be and what it actually was 2 totally different things. what you thought being a professional footballer was going to be and what it actually was. Can you put your finger on the difference between the dream and the reality?
Yeah, and I think it's all to do with age. I think the older you get, the more you're at ease with it, and the more things happen in your life as well. So for me, I'd say the biggest part of me actually, I always used to just put football as the most important thing in my life, and I'd always say I'm a footballer, and I'd live my life by I'm a footballer. But as soon as you start having kids, for me personally, as soon as I had kids, I was like, well, no, that's not how I identify anymore. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just a footballer. I'm a dad. You know what I mean? I'm all these kind of other things. And I think once I started to get perspective of that, that's when I could sort of lose a little bit of the angst and the anxiety around playing and getting the pressure and all that kind of stuff. Because you go onto the pitch. I remember when I was at Man United. So I only ever played 15, 16 games at Man United. But every single game, I walked on the pitch and I was shitting myself, Robbie. Shitting it, thinking, just don't make a mistake. Just get through it. Don't make a mistake. And I think, what's the point of that? Do you know what I mean? And I guarantee you, there's loads of players playing in the Premier League right now.
It's painful and it's traumatic because, people don't understand really what 75,000 people looking at you is like.
Yeah.
And they really don't understand about the millions of people at home looking at you through those cameras.
So I've got a question. I've got a question.
Okay.
So I watched the Dermot O'Leary interview, with you, and I've got to say, incredible. Dermot O'Leary, I love that guy, by the way.
Yeah, he's
lovely guy. So you played at Nebworth, okay? How many people were at Nebworth?
375,000.
So this is the equivalent to about 5 Wembleys, yeah? So about 5 Wembleys people watching you, all right? What is it? So you are probably one of the only people in this world that can answer this question. How does that feel, walking up onto the stage at Nebworth, and you've got them people jumping and bouncing in front of you? What does that feel like? Beforehand, first of all. So the build up to it, like an hour before, for example.
Well, I'll qualify this by saying a very, very well-known singer got hold of me after watching the Reels thing, and he said everything that you said mirrors how I feel, which made me feel less isolated and weird, right? Because the truth is about Nebworth is, thank God it happened to me, and thank God it's one of those things that I can say I've done. But the truth is about Nebworth is that I was absolutely petrified.
Really?
Not in that fun way where you go, I'm shitting myself. It's like, no, that actually weighed that heavy on me that it was difficult to walk.
Wow.
Because, that when I was talking about 74,000 people looking at you, the cameras and what that does to you and the weight of expectation, I really take seriously the facilitating of giving people their money's worth. I really take seriously entertaining people, make sure that they've had a good time. And also at the same time, in my head, I'm going, I'm just knobhead from Stoke. I'm fannying about. How the fuck has this happened?
Wow.
So
How old were you at this point, Nebworth?
25, 26.
Yeah, okay.
But when that many people turn up, you can't actually figure it out, what it's supposed to mean, what it is, and how you're supposed to react, and the expectation and the weight and before you know it, you've thought yourself under bricks. Mm-hmm. So, walking up to stage, I was under bricks, finding it difficult to walk. So what happens is, for me, and thankfully this person's reached out to me and gone, I felt the same way, which is great. For me, it was something, like I said before, I'm incredibly grateful that it happened to me. But I wouldn't want to experience those sort of feelings again.
Yeah.
Putting on a brave face and then entertaining people, but inside, I'm just completely depressed.
Uh-huh.
I'm full of anxiety. I'm lonely and I'm isolated. And all of these moments that should have been the best part of my life, look back on with fond memories. It wasn't that. A lot of the biggest moments professionally in my life were the worst things to experience. It feels so strange to say that, because I know how that will feel to people outside. Mm-hmm. It's like, you've got 135,000 people each night, 3 nights, just adoring you. How can that feel weird? It does. It does. It's, there's nobody that, let's play a game. Let's play a game, right? I like this game. There's nobody that achieves that kind of level of fame. And I'm not saying level of greatness, I'm just saying level of fame. And fame means shit. It just means shit, right? So nobody that achieves that level of fame comes out of it the other side unscathed and mentally well.
Yeah.
And doesn't crack and go crazy. Play the game. Who didn't do it? Who hasn't? Actors, singers.
Who hasn't cracked?
Yeah, who hasn't cracked?
Oh, yeah, that is a really, really tough one, because even if our perception is they haven't cracked,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I still think they have. I think
Who
everybody
knows
has.
what's going on with Ronaldo?
Nobody.
Who knows what the real Ronaldo's experiencing in football terms? Who knows what the real Messi is feeling? Who knows what's going on with their life, how they live, what they feel inside, what all of that stuff that exists outside of them makes them feel,
Yeah.
how they behave towards the world, where they can and where they can't go, because they're the most isolated people on the planet.
Yeah, for sure.
Messi and
They can't
Ronaldo
move.
can't go anywhere, can't do anything. You are taken out of the tribe and you're placed up here, and you're in a room that is just built for you, and it's beautiful, but you can't go out.
Yeah.
But like David Beckham, I would not swap every pound in the world to be in his position, because you cannot walk the dog. You cannot go
Normal
to the
stuff.
pint, to a pub for a pint with your mate.
Okay.
Nothing.
I'll tell you what happens though. So first off, it's really discombobulating and scary, and you can't get your head on or your hat on or understand it. And then second is you fight back against it, and you become angry or you can't. I'll go. Eventually, what happens is you get acceptance about your place on the planet, who you are, and how you function. And I'm in that place right now, but it took me
Yeah.
a long time.
How'd you get to that?
Kids,
Yeah.
experience. The big one for me was when Teddy arrived 10 years ago, my daughter, and I was like, right, okay, mummy's doing mummy stuff. What do I do? Okay, build a moat, fill it full of water, build a castle, protect the castle, make sure the castle is paid for each year. And what happened was this thing that I was doing that was sort of like a vocation or whatever the effort was became a job.
Yeah.
And then instead of me thinking that my job is making me mentally ill, I go, now I've got the best job in the world. It's absolutely fucking amazing. And I get to provide this for my kids.
Yeah.
So daddy goes to work. That was a big change. Also, being 48, experience, and that there's only so many times that you can look into the abyss and then the abyss stares back at you before you go, come on.
Yeah.
Which bit of this are you going to enjoy?
I've got a question for you then. So with the kids, obviously, being the kind of star you are, you're going to go everywhere, and let's be honest, everyone's going to kiss your ass and do everything for you. Not everyone. The good people around you won't. When you go home and you've been touring or done a huge event, and you go home, the kids are the kids, aren't they? And you're not getting an ounce of change, and if they'll be daddy go away, or is that kind of nice when you walk into normality?
Well, it's nice because the universe is smiling back at you and has given you these gifts and given you this present that you'll never be able to understand truly what it is, but you know inside how it makes you feel. Now, when I come home, currently my kids think I'm the best thing ever.
Nice.
And that's not them kissing my arse. They're just in that place
Your
right
dad.
now.
Yeah, your daddy. Yeah.
Where, they sort of, my daughter just thinks that, I literally am. He must be Elvis.
Yeah.
That's how she sees me, and my son thinks that I used to play for Manchester United.
Love this.
He tells
Is this
everybody.
because you tell him this, though? Yeah.
Well, no, he's just taken that on board himself somehow, and I'm just not telling him that I didn't.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep going with it.
I'll let him have that. And the other two just think I'm the greatest thing. So when you say, the kids are going, I'm not having it, Dad. That's not where they are right now. I'm sure that'll change.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when they become
Teenagers.
and they sort of, they're not into like pop music, they'll be just like, ew, Dad. But But right now, no, it's just it's the best experience.
So I think a common theme of what you're saying at the minute, though, is though kind of age is a mass. It's like age is Is it? Is that saying age is wasted on the youth? Is that saying?
Yeah. Youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
So yes. So what my fear used to tell me was, you're gonna die, run away.
Really?
And anxiety, depression, mental illness, all of that business. The thought of you're going to die, run away was so overpowering, but I didn't have the experience to know that I'm actually not going to die.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm 48, and when those things come up now, I go, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, I'm still fearful on a day-to-day basis, and a lot of my shows that I do, I get fearful before I go on, but I know that I'm not going to die.
Uh-huh.
So that's my safety spot.
Yeah, you'll get through it. It'll be
Yeah.
all right. The thing I was going to say about it is you think that in this country now, in the Premier League, playing week in, week out, we've got a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old lads who they're on the tip of everybody's tongues. They're earning £100,000 a week. Can you imagine being... You actually can. You actually can. Wow, yeah. But the thing with footballers is you're in a different world to what you were in, because footballers still have to turn up for work tomorrow morning and do the physical side of it. So they've got all this money, they've got all this spare time, they can't really do anything with it. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard world to be in, mate. Honestly, it's a really, really hard world to be in. I know it's not great the way music and you've got a lot of time when you want to go out and you can do whatever you want to do, all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of like the flip side of the coin for footballers. Do you know what I mean? They finish training at 1 o'clock every day. They've got millions of money, and the money isn't irrelative, but they've got just time to burn. And that's the problem for footballers is.
Yeah. And also they've been given a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Exactly.
So, try to explain that to somebody that actually is on the other side of that glass ceiling, looking up, going,
I'll have some of that.
Not I'll have some of that. It's like, what have you got? You have no right to complain about anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that in itself is isolating, because that used to happen to me back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm talking from a place now that is, I've gone through that tunnel. I've come out the other side. I have adapted. I have accepted, and I love my job and I love my life, and that's true. So I can say it from a spot of that's what happened. Now everything's different. But if you're going through that place where you are living every young boy's dream, and then you go, I'm struggling here.
Yeah.
The most isolating thing that can happen for those people is to tell them that what they're feeling doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's getting better. It's getting better, for sure.
It is getting better. But, I remember back in the day when I was just like, I don't know, lads. I don't know. But
Do you feel guilty for having?
Oh yeah, I felt
Because
working,
almost like-
I felt working class guilt. I felt like a charlatan. I felt all of those things. But you try to explain that to a 90s journalist, and Robbie Williams moaning again.
Oh yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're allowed to be a bloody human, aren't you?
No, you're not though. That's the problem. You're actually not allowed to
Yeah.
be a human being.
But
what I mean?
we had it's mad, isn't it? And obviously you've had huge amounts of success, but we've done well with the channel in a short period of time. We hit millions of subscribers really quickly, and Ben's channel, Ben's front and center, and I help him run it. But I remember when we hit a million subscribers on YouTube in months, and the feeling of and honestly,
Is that it?
The feeling, and then the next day people going. My missus going, no, you've hit 1 million subscribers yesterday, and you're buzzing, and you're like, no, I don't know why, and I feel guilty, and then you feel, why should I feel?
It's called paradise syndrome. Also, it's like getting to the top of the mountain and
You've
going,
got there, yeah.
oh well, that didn't fix me, and it's all about the journey. It's like this bit now, from 1 million to 5 million or whatever, is the best bit. The excitement that you have on a day-to-day basis, turning up and making this thing happen. You will never feel better than you do today than when you get 5 million. I'm saying you will feel probably worse when you reach 5 million subscribers than you do today. It's all about the journey, because that's what fucking happened to me.
Yeah.
It was like #1 albums, hounds, houses, on my knees at the patio doors, looking out, crying, going, why didn't any of this fix me? Why has this made it all worse? You know, wow. It's paradise syndrome. You get to the top of the mountain and something weird happens. There's a sadness that comes in.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never asked you this. Hitting 1 million subscribers and the success that you've had and everything with the channel versus the football side of things. Where do they sit with you? Like in terms of success?
That's a really tough question to answer, to be honest with you. The football, like I never really, like I say, enjoyed football so much when I was younger. I never really had the chance to enjoy it so much. So most of the success I had in terms of actually winning things was when I wasn't really fully enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, like I say, I'm with Robbie. Like I just enjoy the journey now. So. Like even last season, right, we're getting relegated at Watford. It's tough times. Everybody's like, I can tell everybody is down and they're low and they're miserable, right? So the amount of times that we'd sit there and have a nice time, we might be playing poker or something. It could be anything. And I'd go, lads, do you know what this is right now? And they'll go, what? And because we're all happy, it's time of our lives, lads. This is the time of our lives, right now, right here, right now.
Great.
And it got to a point where I'd make a point of saying it every week or whatever, and they'd go, shut up, Fozzie, you dickhead. And I'd be going, no, lads, honestly, though, you need to understand
Yeah.
You've got to understand it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey. I'm with you 1,000,000%. You need to actually wake up every day and think, I do anyway, because I'm that kind of, but I'll wake up and I'll think, I'm going to have a nice day. It's a new day today. It's a nice day.
There are moments in my life where I actually think I'm the happiest that I've ever been, and then I say it out loud.
Yeah, nice.
You know, I'll be with the wife, and I'm always with the wife when I'm the happiest I've ever been for some reason, and I go, babe, I'm the happiest I've ever been, because you have to mark those moments to know that they exist.
Yeah, true that.
You know, and that's the same thing, because you know, if you don't point that out to your teammates, they'll never know that that's what it was.
Yeah, it's true. It's right though, mate.
Yeah.
It is. You got to enjoy it, and you got to remember, like, we're having a nice time. You know what I mean? We're having a nice time. You're having a nice time. You got to enjoy that. Right. We want to talk a bit of Soccer Aid, yeah. So, how long ago was it you set Soccer Aid up? By the way, bloody heck, that was a while ago. But either way, it's banging, yeah.
06.
Well done. Good research. Love that. How much do you look forward to Soccer Aid each year?
Wow. Okay. So, with the looking forward to Soccer Aid, I am a introvert that lives a very isolated life. I don't go out.
Yeah.
I live in Los Angeles, and I could go out and nobody knows me. I choose not to. My dad doesn't go out either. And, you know, he's a comedian, compere, singer, charismatic guy, big personality, just doesn't leave the house because he doesn't want to. And I don't leave the house because I don't want to either. So Soccer Aid for me over the years, I used to get very anxious and nervous about having to socialize with that many people. So before 3 or 4 weeks before Soccer Aid, I used to get ill. Wow. With the stress of thinking, how am I going to be around that many people? Being somebody that's isolated, that doesn't go out a lot. And so much so that I even went and got myself checked for tropical diseases and stuff. It was like, what the hell is why is my body doing this? My body is breaking down. And it was the stress of thinking, I've got to go and hang out with loads of people. Really? Because it would just fuse my wires, too many fingers pressing the computer board, and then I would break. Now, being a little bit older, I go in on the day and I have the best time ever.
Really, yeah.
It's so I'm capable of some stuff. I'm not capable of other stuff, right? I'm not capable of being there for 5 days beforehand, and you know, I'm a sober person too, you know, so well, there's loads of people up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the bar.
A few,
I used to do that stuff. Now I can't do that stuff. And then, you know, being around people that have like a beer, which is brilliant. It's not for me because I just can't keep up with people. Now with Soccer Aid, it is, you can't buy the experience that I have on a Soccer Aid day. Yeah. So I just turn up for the game and sit on the bench. And, you know, I can, there's like, speak. So learn, be interested, what you've got to, you know, sit next to Dave Seaman that just makes you feel dead safe anyway.
That's exactly what he does. You can just see him putting his hand go, come here, don't worry.
I'll look after you, son.
Yeah. And then you get to sit on the bench in the dugout at Manchester United.
Yeah.
And then you get to watch this game that is incredibly entertaining. And it's got a bit of
Needle.
a bit of needle in it. I love the bit of needle in it,
yeah,
and it's
everybody does.
competitive, and people want to win. And also, the audiences are very inclusive, and the crowd is very warm.
Good atmosphere. Isn't
Great
it? Lovely.
atmosphere, and it's a festival kind of thing. And then at the end of it, we raise a load of money,
Yeah.
which is absolutely amazing. And then now I get in the car after it's done, and I'm buzzing about how much we've made. I'm buzzing about meeting Alex Scott, or spending some time with David Seaman, or getting to hang out with Idris Elba, or, it's not the same that it was. I know what I'm capable of now, and I know what I'm not capable of.
Yeah.
I'm capable of that bit.
Yeah.
I look forward to the experience now.
It's a good skill in life, that, lads, to learn your capabilities and just work in between there, It is. Don't ever bother trying to do any stuff you can't do.
I've got a story for you, by the way.
Go on.
So I'm wearing an Argentina top, as you can see. Now, I'm doing a gig in Austria, and it's the closing season of the snow season. And this gig is in Ischl, I think, Ischl. And you get in a gondola, you go to the top of the mountain and play a gig to 30,000 people. Super cold, right? But amazing. And my security comes to the hotel, pick me up from that room and go, "You're not going to believe this, but Maradona's waiting for you at the gondola." And I'm like, because my life's mad anyway. So I'm like, wow. Yeah. And you're like, Austria, Maradona.
Obviously, hand in hand.
So, and he's there, the man is at the bottom of the gondola waiting for me, and he can't speak English, and it doesn't matter. And, I have my picture taken with him, and I'm with my dad, and my dad has his picture taken with him, and we get in the gondola, and, it's like those pinch me moments. I'm like, look at that, Dad. We're in Austria, and there's Maradona. That's
You got
amazing.
just chilling, waiting for you.
Yeah, chilling. Go do the gig. Gig smashed, great. Come home, get on a plane, go back to England. I'm on the Daily Mail looking at the football. Maradona's is it Chelsea? There's a picture of Maradona at Chelsea. But this Maradona hasn't got a beard. I hadn't met Maradona.
No.
It was a Maradona impersonator.
Weasel.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
He's done wonders there.
Yeah.
He has done absolute wonders.
That being said, I played with Maradona at Soccer Aid.
Yeah.
And one of the most mind-bending moments is like being next to Ben Shepherd, and I'm left back, and Ben Shepherd's centre off, and like Rudolph's here, Maradona's here, and he's got the ball, and I'm like, Sheps, Maradona. And there was like an existential moment.
Oh.
It was just like the world just went, what's happening with your life?
Ben Shepherd, yeah.
Yeah. Maradona left shoulder.
Yeah. I've got him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I've got him. Don't worry. That's it. I'm going to see
He's
it.
not as quick as he used to be. I'm good.
Oh, God. So obviously you do a lot of touring, right?
Yeah.
I want to know, is it the only way I can kind of think about it in my head is it's like us going on pre-season tour, yeah? So we might go away for 2 weeks or something. We'll go Austria, for example. How long are you on tour for at any one time?
Well, this tour is different to all the tours that I normally do. My tours normally are through the summer.
Yeah.
Because I play stadiums, which is...
Open.
Yeah, and, never lost on me the fact that I get to do that and that many people come see me. It's mind-blowing. But that's during the summer because, the weather has to be good. So that can be 5-6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then you have a break for a little bit, and then you'll go down to Australia for 6 weeks. Then you'll have a break, and you'll go down to South America for 6 or 7 weeks too. So there's all of that. But this one is indoor. I'm doing indoor this time, and then going outdoor in the summer. So I'm doing the UK, and I think it's 5 weeks, this stint. And then in January, I go into Europe and play indoor, and that will be 6 or 7 weeks. And then through the summer, I'll be playing outdoor. Basically, touring doesn't stop.
Yeah, always.
You know, I'm doing a private gig or picking up something here or going to there or getting on a plane, flying to Australia, doing a gig there. You know, there's always odds and sods happening. But a tour will altogether be 6-7 months.
What are the private gigs like? Do you get many of them private gigs? Are we talking like, this is where the rich boys come out and they're like, Robbie, come and play this birthday.
Okay.
Sweet 16 or something like that.
Well, the one that I can tell on here and a few that I'll tell you off, but I did a gig to 6 people eating with the full band set up. Full band set up, guitars, speakers, everything, in a room at a hotel with 6 people eating, 2 people left.
What?
2 people left. And the guy that paid me to be there, thankfully, had his own microphone and joined in whenever he wanted to.
Just both.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. And the 2 people that left, I thought they were going to the loo. You know, it's like they must be going to the loo. And they just didn't come back. And then when I walked out of the room, they were just sat on a sofa having a cigarette outside.
Well done. I enjoyed that. I'd love to see the guy just bowling up and having a little sing-song with you whenever he wants, like, whenever he knows on.
Joined in whenever he wanted to.
Oh, God.
What about so when you go touring, I don't know if this is a stupid question. It must be fucking exhausting. The travel.
No, it's not. It's not so much, you know, all of those drugs that you're creating inside of yourself when you play, you know, the endorphins, serotonin, the anxiety, the concentration, the all of these things that are inside you that you create yourself. As it is with any drug, you're going to pay for that the next day. So, you know, because you're standing there, but you're concentrating.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So Sunday for you, you're just Polax style. I would imagine that you're just on a sofa doing that.
Mentally, physically, everything.
Yes.
You did it after You told me after the Newcastle thing when he nearly did Newcastle, and you said the next day you were emotionally
playing football.
you were emotionally ruined.
Yeah. Well, this is what happens on tour. So you go and you do a show.
How long are shows, by the way?
They can be anywhere from. It's an hour 45 to 2 hours. You know, I think an hour 45 is you leave them wanting more. Don't overdo it. Some people play 3 hours. I don't know how or why they would do that to themselves or the audience. But so what happens is you go and you smash it. You have the best time. They have the best time. You feel as though you've done a great job. Then you can't sleep because you're climbing the walls. I can't take sleeping tablets because I abuse them. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm going ding, 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 ding. And then, you know, I'll fall asleep about 9, 10 o'clock. And then I wake up and I'm paying for what I spent inside me the night before.
Yeah.
But I've got to go do it again.
That night?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've then got to go and do it again. And you get up and you're like, I can hardly walk, let alone facilitate what I did last night. I've got to go do it again. But Dr. Show Business always comes from somewhere, inhabits the body, and I always get it done, even though I'm terrified that I'm just absolutely knackered. Then I don't sleep again. Oh. Then you travel. Then you do another gig. And then it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going.
Dirty little cycle.
And then what happens is sort of like before gigs, I always know how I am when I'm going to go do a meet and greet, you know, have your picture taken with people and stuff. And it's always the best feeling when you walk into a meet and greet and your body's working and everything's great and you're sort of like, pow, Mr. Charisma, here I am, da-da-da, make you feel comfortable, hey, let's have a picture, woo. And it's great. But then 2 or 3 weeks in, you're walking towards this thing and your legs are going like that and you're thinking, if I can't even do the meet and greet, how the fuck am I going to do the gig this evening?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But that's my job.
Yeah.
You know, that's my job, and that's what I'm here to facilitate a good time for them. And like I've said before, I take the responsibility of that really, really seriously. And I haven't died yet, and I always manage to get to the end of the tour. Sometimes I end up in intensive care. Sometimes I end up in rehab. But most of the time, I just go home.
Have you actually ended up in intensive care?
Oh yeah, yeah. Intensive care, rehab twice.
Oh,
yeah. There's reasons why, you know, people end up getting ill on tours and cancelling lots of stuff because it's exhaustion. I'm playing a game, and then I'm playing a game,
Constantly,
and then I'm
every
traveling,
night. Oh.
and then I'm playing a game.
And you're jumping around like batshit crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to raise the vibration of a stadium full of people.
And the difference is you're goalkeeper, centre half, centre mid, and
Yeah,
striker.
yeah.
Utility player is what you
Yeah.
are, Robbie.
Yeah.
Do you have to do a bit of fitness work then before like tours and stuff like that?
Here's the very sad thing for me. I am either Mr. Fitness or Mr. Sedentary Behaviour.
Yeah.
And I'm Mr. Sedentary Behaviour right now. And I'm treating it as an experiment to see what I can do when I'm my least fit.
Yeah, that's worrying though, because if you get through it, you'll know I can just do that every time.
Just
then
do that.
Absolutely golden.
Yeah. What I should be doing is taking care of myself, sleeping well, eating well, working out, doing a bit of phys, doing a bit of cardio. But I am just in a place in my life where I'm not that guy right now.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy again, but I'm just not.
Right, Robbie, we've got. I say quickfire. They're not quickfire. You expand as much as you want. We'll talk a load of waffle, to be perfectly honest with you, mate. They're some of the most random questions, but they're good. They're fine. Don't worry about it. Do you have any hidden skills?
Do I have any hidden skills? I paint and I draw.
Yeah.
Proper artist kind of stuff, yeah.
Proper artist kind of stuff. I had a exhibition at Sotheby's just recently, and I'll show you some of the stuff.
Yeah, lovely.
It's not shit. That was because like celebrities do stuff, don't they? And it's like, fuck off that shit.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And like
put my heart and soul into this.
But like,
Oh, that's amazing.
No. But like a lot of celebrities do shit art.
Yeah.
And like my goal was to just not be shit, and it's not shit.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Favorite meal?
Favorite meal.
Imagine death row. You're on death row.
Okay.
I don't know why that went so deep.
I always go for a sweet and sour pork or a sweet and sour chicken, special fried rice, but I don't know if that's true. I'll go Chinese.
Nice.
I'll go Chinese.
Nice. Favorite drink?
Coke Zero.
Yeah, boom. I'm with you.
Here's a theory about Coke Zero, right? So the sugar tax was coming in for all of these firms with these fizzy drinks, and Coke were like, we have got to go and get a drink that tastes exactly like the real thing, but with no sugar in it. Then bastards went and did it. Do you like Coke Zero?
I'm a Pepsi Max guy.
Are you really?
Diet Coke, but yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
Diet Coke?
Diet Coke, yeah.
Diet Coke just tastes like, I don't know, aspartame water now to me. Now I've been on the real stuff.
Been on the good stuff.
Yeah,
The
so
good stuff.
Coke Zero is my favourite drink, yeah.
Favorite film?
Do you know what? The film that's meant the most to me and been the most inspirational for my life is Grease.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the first film that I saw on the planet and went, I want to do that. Whatever that is, I want to do that.
Yeah, that'll do you. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show, Sopranos.
Yeah, nice.
And then the second season of Succession.
Yeah, Succession. Very good, isn't it?
And I was a big fan of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ditto, yeah. Nice, like that. Which area of the country in the UK got the maddest fans? You know it's going to kick off every time.
The UK, Belfast.
Yeah.
Belfast.
Yeah.
And the Geordies. The Celts, basically.
Yeah.
Wales, Scotland, anywhere in Ireland. Yeah.
Boom. Which country?
Which
Not
country?
UK. Apart from UK, which country is going off?
Well, I tell you where I'm treated like they think I'm. They really think that I'm like Elvis or Michael Jackson or something. It's like I'm just allowed to be him. Austria.
Really?
Yeah, they just love me up, and I love them for loving me up.
Any real reason?
I don't know. It's just like sympathetic thing where I'm just like, thanks, guys.
That's
All
Dan
right,
Bachman.
Yeah.
I'll give it loads. So Austria, but I would also say that the sort of like the vibration of a stadium full of these people is intoxicating. Italy,
Really, yeah.
just full on madness. Yeah.
Idol growing up. Sporting and then...
Okay,
something else.
Brian Robson.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah,
and,
very good.
Chuck D from Public Enemy.
Yeah. Nice. Advice you'd give to a younger Robbie Williams?
Okay, I've got quite a few.
Oh, go on then.
Don't release Rude Box as your first single off the album. Carbohydrates make you fat. Dream bigger.
Oh, very good.
Dream bigger.
Yeah.
Because, the only thing that was holding me back was me. Because I got there. 14 number one albums, Nebworth, 18 Brits, and it's just some knob from Stoke, right? And if you set your mind to it, you could be the first man on Mars. Genuinely, dream bigger. Just whatever it is, wherever you get to in your head, think I'd like to achieve that. Go 3, 4, 5 stations past that. Go to there, because it's only you that's stopping you from doing it.
Love that.
Love it, yeah. Is there anything still left on your bucket list to do?
Anything still left on my bucket list to do? My bucket list, I retired in 2006, right? And then sat on the sofa, I got really fat, grew a beard, looked like a serial killer, went looking for UFOs, wore a kaftan, cashmere kaftan from Morocco, and was just like got fatter and fatter and fatter.
Just hide it.
Yeah, just hiding, not even going out for doctor's appointments. Get the doctor here. And my brain turned to Swiss cheese, and I understood how people die when they retire.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, I need purpose.
Yeah.
So my bucket list needs to be retain purpose, be interesting, and be interested. And for that, with what I do for my job, I need relevancy.
Uh-huh.
So I need to be relevant in people's hearts for me to have the purpose and you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So my bucket list is just to keep this thing fucking going.
Yeah.
And it's just all encompassing, all consuming, that competitive thing too.
Nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just
Surprised you get out of bed every day. Boom.
Hugely competitive, and this purpose and the kids just gives me incredible drive. The ambition is never quelled either.
Yeah.
The ambition that I've always had, I still retain, and that can be deemed as a negative thing too, especially in this country. He's a bit ambitious, but like I'm overwhelmingly ambitious. I want more. I just want to grab in the kindest possible way. I will put my elbow in every now and again.
You need to,
but in the best possible way. I just want to keep achieving, keep grabbing, and play my cards the best that I can play them.
It's amazing what you say about this country, because we'll kind of bring it back to sport, and you look at like the best there's been in recent years, and you look at like Lewis Hamilton and Andy Murray, and they get a bit of a rep, and you go,
of course they do, yeah.
They're the best. They've got to have a bit about them, and you hear them about arrogance with those kind of guys. You go, no, they're the best.
Yeah,
They do.
That's what they do. Yeah,
Relentless.
Yeah, in this country, it's almost like
They
don't
bring them down a peg or two.
There's not a lot of love.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of love for our heroes.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be broken in a way.
I'm with you.
For people to love you.
Yeah.
You can't be machines and robots that win.
They want a bit of frailty.
Yeah.
don't they?
They want that hero's journey of the redemption arc as well. You can't just be Lewis Hamilton and win everything. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Next year, Lewis, F1 next year, mate. You're back. Your go-to karaoke song, not one of yours.
I think it will. I don't do karaoke, but if I did, I would get up and do "Don't Stop Believing."
Believe.
Yeah, just a little small town girl living in a wide world.
I reckon you got a chance.
Midnight train going anywhere. Oh yeah,
I could see in the local Yateses doing that.
Don't stop
That would bang.
believing. Yes,
That
Yes.
would bang. That would bang.
I was there then.
I love that song, to be fair. I like that. What was the TV show that was off?
It was on Sopranos.
Glee.
Glee. I'm talking about the Glee
it was
one.
the end. It was
I don't watch Glee. I watch Sopranos. I watch
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
It was the end. It was the end song on Sopranos.
I meant
Was it?
Soprano, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Your favourite song you've written?
Favorite song that I've written. Really boring answer, but Angels.
Yeah.
Because it gave me my career.
I was at a Oktoberfest in Harpenden, which is St Albans Way, the other day, and one of the lads is like England support, goes away, all that kind of stuff. And I went, "Oh, we're doing Robbie Williams at the week." And he was like, "Oh, but that's fucking what a legend." He goes, "Does he know that Angels is like one of our songs. And I went, what do you mean? He went, well, we've got like a few songs, but Angels is like, mate. And he goes, when it goes off with Angels,
Oh no,
my
it's
God.
same in Germany for October.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the unofficial national anthem of Germany.
Proper, like he says, honestly, he says, you would not believe the atmosphere when this song goes on and everybody's singing it. He said, oh, it's like, take me back now, take me back.
Yeah,
Amazing, isn't
it exists in a place outside of me.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
song.
yeah.
It's just got its life of its own somewhere, and gave me my career.
I love this. First ever teenage crush.
First ever, Lisa Parks, who was in the year above me.
I was going to say, I don't know her.
Yeah. She was in the year above me. But Martika, can you remember? You won't be able to. In Martika's kitchen, she was so fit, man. And girl, them. And who else? But the first woman on the planet where I was like, oh, you're making my tizzer go foo, was Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. She was like the original Wonder Woman. And then Gail Godot's done a really good job at being Wonder Woman.
really good.
Really good job. If I was like that, she'd make my tizzer go foo.
Yeah, I get you. I'm with that, to be fair.
Tizzer go poo.
Biggest phobia.
Biggest phobia. Well, I used to have a terrible fear of ghosts when I was growing up.
Yeah?
Like awful fear of ghosts.
Can't sleep in the dark and all sorts.
Yeah. And like couldn't go across the landing to get to the toilet because of what was ever's going to greet me when I opened the door.
My sister, Shez,
Yeah.
my sister will know this. I used to think there was like snakes and turtles and tortoises.
No,
that's what I had in my head.
That's weird.
It's so weird. I
weird.
did.
Yeah,
I used to think there would be like a slimy pit of snakes and turtles.
Those
that's
turtles
never
are
right.
terrifying, aren't they?
Never right. Like, that's never right.
Oh god. I've got
a question.
Go on, go.
Best football match you've ever been to?
Oh yeah, you like this.
Best football match that I have ever been to. There'll be the Port Vale games back in the day. Yeah. I can't remember which ones, but promotion playoffs,
Yeah.
Wembley finals, and that sort of stuff back in the day.
Proper football days out.
But also, I have to say, Soccer Aid takes some beating.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
The atmosphere alone.
Ooh.
Fancy a new GK next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Retired now, I can do it as well. There we go.
There you go.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Boom. Most famous person you've ever met, and this is going to be an absolutely world class answer.
Yeah, it's
name your. It could be. This could be any. This could be the.
it's everybody. It's everybody.
Yeah, I think everybody's probably on that.
Well, I mean, it won't mean much to it's Brad Pitt, it's all of that,
yeah.
but it won't mean much to the younger viewers. But I was like on holiday, and a group of my wife's friends arrived, and it was just like, "Hello, hi, I'm Tom," and I'm like, "All right, Tom, pleased to meet you." "Hi, I'm Barbara," and I'm like, "All right, Barbara, pleased to meet you." And I sit down, and I look over, and it's Barbara Streisand, and I'm like, "Oh."
Is that one for you that made you go, "Oh, that's proper"?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. John Travolta.
Oh yeah.
Whoever you can think of, I've met him. Yeah, whoever you can think of, I've met him. Yeah.
I don't doubt it either.
Yeah.
It's literally as simple as that.
Yeah.
What is that like when you meet one of them massive dogs? Are you thinking, do they know me? Do you think they know who I am?
Well, in America, it's weird because I'm in the famous club everywhere apart from the States.
Really?
And I live in the States for that reason. It's
a bit quieter.
I'm anonymous there. And there was this one time where I was at this the Osbournes New Year's Eve bash back in the day, and they opened up these gifting suites, and gifting suites is where people give out crap for free.
Yeah.
My mum's bang on it, so she's like she's just queuing up for this free crap, and I'm like, I'll go upstairs and wait for her. So it's at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I'm leaning back like this, and you know that where you drift off and you're in the back of your brain, you're not really in the room, but I'm just looking at these stairs waiting for my mum come up, and then in my brain I go, man walking, man walking closer, come closer to me now, man. Oh man, Chris Rock. Oh wow, Chris Rock, that's amazing. Oh, you're staring at Chris Rock, he's staring at you. Are you in the famous club? you can't look away now, because like, if you are in the Famous Club and you don't say hello, he'll think you're really fucking rude. So just keep staring at Chris Rock, and hopefully he'll say hello. And by the time he got up to me, he went, "What, motherfucker?"
What are you staring at?
So I was just staring Chris Rock out. So, and then actually what happened was, 2 months later, I'm at a U2 gig, and we're in the Celebrity Pen, and John Cusack's with Chris Rock stood next to him, and I'm thinking, like, Chris Rock can't remember me from like the weird starey bloke. And like John Cusack, the actor, turns round and he goes like this in my direction, and I go, mm-mm. I'm not in the Famous Club. You can fuck off. But I don't want. I'm not waving back. So John Cusack then goes like that, and I go, mm-mm. Because he stood next to the guy that I'm not in the Famous Club with. And after a while, he goes,
fucking wave back, all right?
Yeah. And I'm like, And in the end, he goes like this, turns around, carries on watching the gig. And I turn around to see who he was waving at, and there's a brick wall behind me.
All right.
So, like, I've done myself twice.
Yeah.
So I've done myself with Chris Rock, and I've been rude with John Cusack.
I just love the fact that you can take the girl out of Stoke, but you can't take the Stoke out of the girl.
Exactly.
That's in it. I love it. Robbie Williams, mate.
Fun.
Robbie Williams, what an absolute legend. Can we get, before we go, we always finish every Fozcast by saying, up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Yes, well done, mate.
Woohoo!
Poddy Williams himself.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the Fozcast. Don't forget to give us a follow on Spotify. Up the Fozcast.